Back at the fight where everything has began, um, your team got here without too much trouble. Going through with the help of press guards wanting to live. Maybe actually, you never incited that. Now that I think about it, uh, they brought you to their general. Along the way, you've heard rumors, tales of some strange things that are going on um, in the city itself. Sorry, I just read what has been posted. Anyways, you heard some strange comings and goings that is going on in the city. Something about terrain generators, breaching teams, heading towards their posts. Making your way here, you felt a strange energy like pool into the city, as if a magic spell has gone off. Eventually, you got to the general, where they did something cryptic along the lines of, "And here they are now." Um, Something else that I don't fully remember off the cuff, and then like a strange energy of a spell that had been cast ended. Um, I believe Aster cast detect magic on themselves in case something were to go awry. Uh, Take for example, if you kill the general and like they were tethered to anyone by a magical collar that would kill them. Just in case that were to happen. I will state I did keep that in mind. I didn't say, oh, and they died in the background without telling you. But more on that later. As you guys went in here, she basically picked up the head that Aster rolled towards her, cast a spell. You did not just stop her from casting it on the head, and more or less you spoke back and forth, and then she ultimately stated, if you are to start this war, then it'd be you who starts it. Taking that into consideration, Aster immediately jumped into the fray, Misty stepped in, and then swung in for attacks, where the start of everything started. A lot of traps were already ready. They've came prepared. You came prepared, and they more or less know what they're going against. After all, you've been attacking them a couple of times. There's for sure no reason why they wouldn't understand who you are. And well, the general was defeated, but a few of their allies, lackeys, whatever you want to call them, have escaped. And this weird dude in this corner has also gone on a rampage. You do not know why. You just know that after Aster destroyed a bangle that has been enchanted but not trapped, was destroyed, they just lost it. I believe Yoko did something to them. I just don't remember what it was. If Yoko, you can remember, please let me know. Otherwise, I don't remember what one of those symbols means. And I'm not talking about the red dot.
The symbol on myself is for Blade Song.
The guy to your right.
Yeah, I don't know what that one is.
Then it was probably an indicator for me. I just didn't write it down. Probably means loss of control. Okay. With that, we wind ourselves back into the fray after Aster just. Actually, we can just start with that. Aster, how did you take this person down?
How did I take her? I do remember now. I had wrapped the all the holy symbols of her priestess around her neck and used her to use them to decapitate her.
Yeah, that's what it was.
They're like, you realize that will make these no longer holy symbols, and I'm like, they're for a god I don't care about. Who gives a fuck?
Fair enough. Ripping into her flesh, she falls down to the ground. Now this weird demonic creature is in tow as well. Zamara is no longer in combat, but that creature technically is underneath her turn, so I'm just gonna keep her there. As that ends, the last archer at initiative round 20 looks towards Zhao and Yoko. Yoko, thankfully enough, is not next to her, so she will go for Zhao and this white. Since the white is a weird spirit thing, it will probably go after that. Ba, 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 ba. There we go. Immediately looking towards it, she brandishes a longsword and goes into stab the white. Plus modifier does hit, slashes in for a good amount of damage. Plus some poison damage. I don't know if this... Do whites get poison damage? Oh wait, sorry, it's a specter. Damage immunities. Immune to poison. Okay. I mean, it's a ghost. Makes sense. So the poison damage doesn't take root. Goes into swing again. Plus modifier does not hit that time. Because the Spectre is based off of Zhao stuff. And that is its turn. Yoko.
So what's this guy doing?
The guy has gone mad. It has attacked its allies. It straight up just butchered into one of the archers that is now dead. Technically, the archer is on the ground with like a long sword next to it.
I'll go over there. And then I'll attack the archer. Is the archer within range of melee?
Yeah.
Then I'll use... I'll attack it with a booming blade.
Okay. 25 does hit. 12, 3, 4, 3. Okay. It is hurt, but not quite dead and not quite bloody just yet.
Okay. And I'll attack it again. That one's no good.
Okay.
And I'll make a flurry of blows. Oh, that's really not good.
15 does not hit. 11 does not hit. 29 for sure hits.
And I'll make this one a stunning strike.
Okay, con save it is. Plus modifier. 17 plus modifier. 17 on the dot meets it. So succeeds.
Okay, that'll be it for me.
All right. Then it is Zhao's turn. Zhao's already next to the creature, so she will hit it with their blade. Pop out their character sheet. Boom, boom, boom. Bonus action hex. Then going to attack the thing with flame tongue. 15 does not hit. You have multi-attack. I'm sure you do.
It'd be a class feature called Thirsting Blade.
Thirsting blade. Yep, got it. Thank you.
Happy to be of help.
16 does not hit. It does not hit, but it is not the white. Why do I keep calling it a white? It is the Spectre's turn. Spectre has, I believe, a +8 because of Zhao's base.
It'd be the listed Spectre stuff +5 from Zhao's charisma.
Yeah. Oh, then it'd be +9. Boo, 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 boo. Attack 4 does not hit. Oh, and the Spectre doesn't even have a multi-attack, so I just rolled for second time for nothing. Well, there's that.
You had assumed that it was going to hit and have to make the strength save or have its strength drained, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why? Who knows what his rolls are like?
I mean, he was optimistic. He just rolled a 17.
The person that was at initiative 17 is now fully booked it. They are gone. Zamara is dead, but the pig demon thing is still alive and has a +15 to hit. We'll continue to attack Aster because they're literally right next to him.
It does have disadvantage. I did restrain it.
I have a disadvantage. You did chokehold the man. 30 and 21.
Let me look at my spells, make sure I have a first level spell slot.
Mm-hmm. As
I
noted
do.
Okay. As noted beforehand, it does do 2d10 plus 10. So take that
I'm a
however you
little
will.
low, so I will be using shield here.
Casting shield, and immediately this dark blade butcher's knife it uses is rebuffed from hitting you. That it's its turn. For Mala is dead.
She probably ran
Nope,
away.
running away. She is now fully gone. Who was the ambassador that you guys were talking to prior? This guy who, I don't know, maybe is like trying to get a promotion will attack Yoko. Takes out the rapier. Goes into attack with a +8. Does not hit. That's its turn. Next one, same thing.
What he gets for attacking me with a toothpick.
23 does hit. Air quotes.
I'll use my reaction to use Agile Parry.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Any addition will cause it just to miss. So you parry the blade against him, and as they just miss. And then it's the dangerous crazy man's turn.
Batman's turn.
Let's
He's
see
gonna
here.
attack the pig.
Maybe. Let's see here. Based off of everything I have written in the notes. Nope, closest thing. Closest thing I guess would be the Spectre. Just gonna try to jab into it. It does hit. Spectre has how much AC? I mean, sorry, HP. There's like no way this guy cannot kill the Spectre, even if it is a ghost. Using just their hands as more veins begin to show up and appear, their fingernails begin to jettison out as if vice grips with fangs. They just shred into the phantom and like butcher it and make it disappear. Spectre is now gone. And that's his turn. This guy will run away so that he is no longer there. And that is Aster.
I'm going to attack this big demon boy.
Big demon boy is restrained.
Suplex him.
Hit him with the good old-fashioned suplex first, then.
19.
That should have been an additional D4 from fire damage. I hit the wrong button.
Damage-wise or attack bonus-wise?
Damage-wise.
Okay, cool. 19 does hit, so that is 14. Arm suplexing him, dealing 14 points of damage.
And a punch. Just followed up with an elbow strike. A 12-6 elbow strike. Gotta love him.
.24 does hit, slapping him in the face with the good old fire duster. You can tell they're doing some damage, but minimal damage.
And 2d4s from being hit by me will restrained.
Okay, thank you very much. Slapping them in, you can tell that they are bloodied now. Like bleeding all over you. It's not the best or friendliest feeling in the world.
I will use Second Wind and end my turn.
I will use Second Wind to clean myself up. Archer is right next to this guy. The archers are technically still loyal, so they will go to Zhao or Yoko. Let's make it Yoko. New target, new possibilities. They miss. And does a 23 hit?
Yep.
Cool. Are you immune to poison by any chance?
I don't think so.
Cool, just asking. I'm not saying that's happening, but I'm totally saying that's happening. Stabbing into you with a longsword, they slice in for 1d8 plus 4 points of damage. Plus 4, that'd be 11 points of slashing damage. Plus an additional...
Guess I am.
resistant or immune?
Immune.
Plus nothing else. It would have been 3d8. It's neither here or there. Poke-to-poke, stab.
2 Zen Decay.
So how much damage am I taking?
7
7 plus...
11. 11 total. 7 plus 4. Potentially more if it used 2 hands. But that's neither here or there. Yoko!
Which of these 3 in front of me looks the most injured?
The archer, honestly.
Okay. I'll attack them then.
Sure.
And I'll use Blue Flame Blade. That's no good.
12, unfortunately, does not hit.
And I'll try a Flurry of Blows. Oh, come on. What'd you do to my dice?
I don't know. This is usually me. 22 does hit.
Okay. And that'll be it for me.
Okay. Zhao will... Boopity boopity. Hex is already up, so Flang Tongue. 21 does hit. 7, and then going to hit again to see if anything happens there as well. 20 also hits. 10, 17, and then 2 hex damage dice, which I believe are d6s.
Yep, and sneak attack.
Ooh, and sneak attack. So that'd be 2d6. So 3, and then sneak attack, which I believe is 5d6 at this level.
Uh, 10,
actually-
right?
Yeah, 10th level.
5d6.
Oh.
Goes up. It goes up by 1 next level. That's why I was hesitant.
Ooh, 16. Not the worst, But
But
is
slightly above average.
which is rare for me. Okay. The archer for sure is close to death. But that is Joust's turn. Zamara dead. Pig goes on Zamara's turn. Pig does have disadvantage against Aster. Has 15 to hit though, so it can hit. But I've been proven wrong before. Let's see here. 24. And higher than 24.
I will use shield.
Boom, rebuffed. It does hit hard. I get why you do that. This guy's just going to try to attack Yoko. Plus 8 to hit with their toothpick sword. That's 20. Does not hit. Guy underneath that tries to attack. Plus 8 to...
Not to kill myself, but
Yes.
yeah, I think this guy has 2 attacks, right?
Technically, yes, but I'm not making it harder because there are reasons for that. Because it kind of became harder a little bit earlier.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so there's only 2 of you. Because one of the NPCs is technically me.
1.5, 2.5.
2.5. Where was I? Oh, 18 plus 8. Oh, I am surprised I'd hit.
I'll use shield.
I did not hit. Ignore that damage. Weird dude that's gone crazy. Technically the archer would be the next closest target. Yeah, it goes after the archer. Boom, 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 boom. 12 plus modifier, that does hit archer. Going in, I am keeping these secret until it actually hits you guys. Oh yeah, the archer's been hurt because of you guys. Archer dead. Soon his form, his torso begins to like crack and bend. His uppermost body bends forwards as if the bones in his back are like blistering. Soon enough, it just bites, quite literally bites, and unhinges its jaw into this guy. And the archer's just dead. On the ground, motionless, long sword on its side. Aster. Oh, it moves like closer to the Zhao. Aster.
We stay punching.
Stay punching.
Do a shocking duster. I'm feeling it. Dang, okay, I'm glad I clicked shocking duster.
26 for sure does hit. This thing is like dazed and dizzy. It can take a few more hits, but gosh darn it, can it not take too many more?
So close. Ignore that d6.
Ignoring it.
Oh, 14 total there.
Yeah, this guy's dizzy, but just barely alive. But you can probably tell it cannot take another swing of hits. Okay. Anything else?
I'll use another second wind and then my turn.
Okay. Yoko.
Another 15. It's fucking weird.
I'm gonna move down here and What's the masked guy attacking me with?
Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. They're basically essentially the same character. Big pointy toothpick.
Okay.
Rapier.
Well, I'll attack him, and I'll use a blue flame blade.
17 does hit this guy. Uh, 15.
So 8 more damage to him, and 7 to that guy.
Yeah. Cutting through, and then the flames jettison out into the next guy. What else do you do?
Gonna take another swing at him.
Oh boy. That
Now
for sure
use-
does hurt.
I'll use a flurry of blows to attack him again.
24 does hit.
And then I'll kick him.
Like, this man is like at death's door. However, the kick did miss. Surprisingly.
That'll be it for me then.
Okay. Zhao has seen this man just gut through people. I am not gonna put Zhao too terribly in harm's way, but I am gonna have her bonus action move Hex to Guy. Main action use Flaying Tongue to attack Guy. Does hit. 12. Hit him again. If it ain't broke, it'll work. 21. 21 just hits. 11 points of damage. And she is gonna risk moving. Giving them an attack of opportunity. I'm just gonna roll a d20. Yeah. Even with their modifier, that's a natural 1. It ain't doing nothing. And she gets here.
2 hex damage dice.
2 hex damage. Thank you for reminding me. And would she still have sneak attack?
No, unless she could have given herself advantage some way.
Not with everything I said, unfortunately. I wasn't thinking that far ahead. They make her invisible. Not currently. Well, I could. I just wouldn't need to make that as the main action. That is Zhao. Big Pig Demon. Big Pig Demon is very hurt. Close to death, but at the exact same time, even if it dies, it'll be brought back to the world it became from. So they're just going to try to kill Aster. Does have disadvantage. Plus 17 to attack, though, which is pretty good. But I've missed with a plus 15 before. Like now.
That misses, yeah.
Trying to slash into you ain't doing nothing. Guy next to Zhao. Sorry, Yoko. Try to stab, pokey poke. Plus 8, does not hit. Other guy, pokey poke. Plus 8, does not hit. Yeah, that sounds about right. Big guy I've been talking up. We'll go after closest target. Closest target is its own ally. Which is this dude. Does hit. Modifier. Thankfully enough, he hasn't been hurt that badly, so he won't die outright. The white-haired man that Yoko just hit with the blue flame blade, green flame blade, just gets nearly vivisected with this man's hands, but is standing straight up. Well, standing up is a metaphorical thing. He hasn't hit the ground, but he is definitely close to death. Aster. Um, 20 does hit the pig demon. 9, 2, 2. Okay. This guy is close, but he ain't going down just yet. But you have more than one attack. And that's 28. Okay, I will tell you straight up, he only had 8 HP left.
Aster, absolutely having just been pummeling into this thing's like face and lower jaw for the last like 3-4 rounds now, catches one of the tusks and just stabs it through the eye.
Yeah. Graviting in, you just essentially, like an apple, you just core into it, removing the inner part of its mind and its flesh, causing it to just hit the ground and then slowly deteriorate away. It will eventually disappear, but for now, I will just mark it with a big red X. It is still your turn, Aster.
I know this guy is going nutty, but do these two look like they're reasonable at all?
They're like fighting to the death against Yoko, even though they are clearly outmatched by Yoko. However, they are worried now that the guy has been going crazy is right next to them.
I'll brandish Zamara's head. Your fight is lost. You can still live. Your allies fight because their mind has been mislaid. Join us and we will let you live.
I would say roll with a disadvantage, but they are also trying to survive. Flat roll DC to beat is 28, which isn't impossible, especially for Aster. Persuasion check. Yeah.
Flat roll. Gotta change that.
I mean, you can. You have things you can do that. 28 on the dot. They will change from red dots to blue. The man that's almost dead with white hair just says, "Yeah, right, fuck it. About to die. You know how the help I can get." He does say, "This thing, some type of demon lord, I don't know all the specifics, cored into its body, lost control."
I'll use my movement. And I want this to get this thing's attention, so I'm going to try to grab it.
I mean, Yoko, you're not wrong, but one of them is wearing a hat. Helmet, technically.
Sometimes in the Drist novels, they were described as having lavender hair. Sometimes. Which would be a very light shade of purple. Sorry, I did just recently read most of those, so it's still a little fresh on the brain. Uh, 26 or be restrained.
Contested roll. Okay. I will now show you its modifier with strength. It is a strength save, so it does get a boost.
Well, it's actually athletics or acrobatics, if it would like.
Oh, it will use its strength, which would be athletics in this case.
It wants to use acrobatics.
No. And boom. I still rolled lower than you, but plus 17 is pretty crazy.
Plus 17 is pretty crazy.
Again, this is me rolling. Only reason why it didn't succeed. Grappling onto it.
To be
bringing
fair,
it down on the ground.
I also rolled like a 6, so...
Plus 13 is also pretty crazy. Grappling him on the ground. You can barely restrain the man, but it is restrained. For who knows how long, though.
I'm trying to save our newfangled allies. And that's my turn after I grab him and do 2 damage.
Cool. As you do 2 damage, technically you are within 5 foot of it.
He explodes.
He doesn't explode.
Notably, this is not an attack.
Notably, it's not an attack. Does it cause him to bleed?
That's how you just up to you on how you describe hit points.
What's the effect that's doing this?
When I grapple someone, I deal 1d4 damage.
I know,
Or
that's
when
just
I
like...
hit someone that I have grappled.
That's like crushing him, so it's like doing internal damage. That's fine. Thank you for letting me know. Yoko! Don't think of what I just said.
Yep, since I don't know any of that might possibly be of concern, I'm going to move up and attack this guy.
I figured I was just about to get like 9th leveled Hellish Rebuked or something.
Yeah. What are your flanking rules? Do you have any?
No flanking rules.
Okay.
You have advantage because it's restrained anyway.
That is correct.
That's what I was trying to remember.
Mechanically, you do have advantage. Not due to flanking, though.
Then I'll go ahead and attack him.
24 does hit. Okay. Slashing into him like you cut into its body. Dark velvet red blood just splatters about. And it gets everywhere. You, Aster, the guy next to you.
Alright. Then I'm gonna attack him again since getting blood everywhere isn't out of the ordinary.
I mean, it happens all the time. 21 does hit on the dot.
Then I'll use a flurry of blows and attack him again.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, 18 misses. 19 also misses.
19 misses. And that'll be it for me.
Slashing into him, then attempting to give him a good roundhouse kick. This guy just bleeding out. Not bloodied, but, a sword through the chest definitely does cause people to bleed. As that happens at the start of Zhao's turn, I want Aster, Yoko, and that one dude right next to him to roll a con save.
Me, Yoko, and the one dude will get a +5. Mine is already accounted for.
Okay. Oh yeah, he's an ally now.
Save?
A con save, correct.
Oh boy.
Oh, that guy now has a +10. Cool.
I'm gonna use lucky to try that again.
He doesn't have a lucky, so he can't add that. You can choose, right, Yoko? I mean,
yeah, you get to choose.
And yeah, I'll just take the 12.
Okay. 30 does succeed, 19 does not, and 12 does not. Motorcycle. As it becomes Zhao's turn, Yoko, you feel like a weird sensation. Kind of like an itch you can't scratch and you're not sure where it's coming from. It is not a poison, but it is a type of corruption. More on that maybe later. Same with the dude with white hair, not the guy you're currently fighting. Aster, you're fine. Surprisingly enough, the one that is most unhealthy is okay.
I've got enough diseases to worry about.
Fair. Much like Mr. Burns, they're all like keeping everything else at bay.
You see, my cancer fights the COVID cells.
Now on your side, they for sure do not want to die, so they will swing against this guy that has just been rupturing people in half, plus 8 to hit. That is me.
Advantage.
Still me. Remember, Aster. I am
I'm
still
trying
rolling.
To help him out here.
Other guy, plus 8. Now. Oh, yes, finally.
There you go.
Oh, wait. No. He does have advantage, so that does hit. I was thinking, he doesn't have 2 attacks. I'm rolling because of advantage. 1d8 plus modifier. He sinks his blade in, causing it to draw out blood, swinging back out. Not dead, but definitely hurt. He's making a con save. Oh, wait. Nope. Let's see here. It did happen at Yoko's turn, so you guys don't make another con save until the next round, which would be on Yoko's turn. But that guy just got splattered in blood, and he failed. So, also has a weird itch. He just states, does anyone else have a weird itch you can't scratch, or is it just me?
Not the time for this.
Fair enough. Enemy is just like boosted, bulking up. Still restrained, but is going to try to hurt people. Let's go with Yoko. Yoko's like in front of him. Just stabbed him a bunch. Disadvantage plus 17. Oh, wait. Attack. Disadvantage plus 17. 26 and 34. Casting anything, or does it hit?
I'm just gonna use my parry and block the first one. The second one I can't do anything about though.
The first one, like, this is the first attack. Like,
Oh, my bad.
unfortunately for me, I have disadvantage, but that is 26.
Okay. I'll just use my agile parry then, which will give me 4 armor class against his melee attacks.
Okay. Cutting in, you use your parrying blade to just make sure he do not touch you. Mainly been going easy because I've been attacking my own self. But now, I have you guys to fight, so he does have multiple attacks. I'm just going to choose a different target, though. D4, Yoko 1, guy underneath 2, guy to the right 3, Aster 4. 2, that is the guy to the south of Yoko.
Actually, sorry, this is probably going to change your mind. He attacked an ally while I was in reach, so I'm going to punch him.
Go for it. Like, this guy's crazy, Aster. I don't think he's, like, thinking logically, so that's not going to change my mind.
Oh, fair enough, then. I have advantage.
23 hits.
And we'll do a level 1 smite.
Yeah. Ooh, nice.
9, 11, 26. 32.
Very nice. This guy has been hit by a few people, but he is not exactly dead or bloodied. But that is a good chunk of HP he's just lost. Still going to attack the guy who's hooded. 31 disadvantage and 32 disadvantage.
Bye, hooded guy.
Okay. Just in case I don't hit you ever, I'm just going to show you the, like, damage he does. And just, like, carving into the flesh of this guy, dissecting into him, is the first initial piercing through of the body. Not yet done, though, as an additional 20 points of damage just gets erupted into them. And unfortunately, this man only had 50 HP. So he's dead, minus 5. And that is Aster's turn. Is it a reactional thing, or can you just attack anyone that is an ally to you, Aster? That has attacked an ally. This is reaction. Okay. Thank you. It is now your go, and if you are talking, you are muted.
My bad. Yeah, sorry. Punch. Punch.
23 does hit. 27 does hit.
12, 16, 24, 29 damage.
Nice.
And my turn.
Punch, 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 punch. It does hurt. This guy is definitely close to being bloodied. And unfortunately, something is going to happen on his turn. So let's see what happens on Yoko's turn. A weird itchy feeling hasn't gone away, by the way. Oh, so if you are talking, I cannot hear you.
Yeah, I'm just trying to decide what to do.
That's fine.
I'm going to attack him twice. Um,
28 does hit, and a natural 20 does hit.
and I'm going to cast Misty Step to get away because I just saw that guy get explodiated, and I don't want that to happen to me.
There. Misty Step bouncing out. At the end of Yoko's turn, Aster, more blood has been spilled, and it's been around. Go ahead and roll for me another con save. Is that the number you want to keep?
It is the number that I have to keep.
Okay. You know that helmet guy that's now dead? He's like on to something. You're also now like itchy. I can't honestly describe it other than just an itch. The best way I can honestly, truthfully describe it is as if you've ever been like punched in the gut and like been winded by it. It's the last bit of it where you can breathe normally, but there's that pain at the end where it's more or less numb now, but there is still that throbbing, which I'm describing as an itch for some reason.
Does that do anything?
Again, I mentioned beforehand, it's not a disease. I did
Just
say
check.
it's a curse. Which, if you do have something for that, would totally work. Zhao's turn. An ally within 5 feet, so she does get sneak attack and also restraint, so it has advantage regardless. Flame tongue. Only because I'm a broken record and decides to do it. Somehow I missed. Okay.
You didn't roll with advantage?
Somehow I've missed. Okay. Second attack. Wow. Wow. I have no words for this. I usually hit with
You're supposed to be
NPCs.
using a D20, right? Not a D10.
uh, do I have anything that'll boost it?
I think she can make a bonus action attack if she uses her daggers.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. Dagger. Does
she has
hit.
She has the mind daggers, the spectral daggers.
Ah, I see. Bum, 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 bum. I only see dagger here, so I'll just take your word for it.
They use a normal dagger statistic. It'd be listed in class feature, the special mind dagger stuff.
Ah, okay, makes sense. 25 does hit, 7 points of damage. That is their turn.
Sneak attack.
Oh yeah, that's true. I always
Hex.
Hex does hit. I think sneak attack only is the first attack, unless I'm wrong. It's what I've been told.
It's the first attack that hits.
Ah, okay. Here's Hex. 1. Sneak attack. Sneak attack. And 17. Total of 18. Cool. Guy is now bloodied, but not dead, which is unfortunate. Only remaining ally that doesn't want to die is close to death and will attack this guy because, I don't know, it's either do that or potentially die by your guys' hands, and it's gonna risk it because you've kept it restrained. Plus 8 to hit. Nice. Does hit. 8 plus modifier. Man, this guy's immune to poison. Slashing in to this demonic beast. Potentially described as an infused demon or demon lord or whatever. He doesn't have specifics. Slashing in, but does not kill the guy.
Can we roll another d20 and see if he hits? I want him to be a hero.
Sure.
Yeah, sorry, crits, I should say. I tried.
Now. Enemy turn, who is somehow still alive. Mainly because he has a large pool because of reasons. Going to attack. Let's see here. Yoko is no longer a viable option. Zhao 1, Aster 3. You can probably guess who 2 is, and there's reroll on 4. All the NPCs.
He still has to hit.
It still has to hit. Disadvantage plus 17.
So what? He'll miss on a 1?
Potentially a 2.
Potentially a 2. 36 versus 34. Does hit. This guy was almost dead to begin with, so there's like no way he's surviving. He has 7 HP left. Ripped asunder. He's just dead. And that is that guy. Fire Duster does hit with a 26. 14 and 17 total. Thank you. Just bashing into him. As that so happens, I will make it evens and odds now. Zhao and Aster. Aster is odds. I did say Aster's odds, so Zhao must be evens. Plus 17. Yeah, there's like no way that's gonna miss, and unfortunately that's like no way that's gonna miss even if I cast shield. Because it's only a plus 5, that'd be 21. Let's see here. 4d10 plus 15. And then an additional pool of 20. 32 plus 20. Gutting into Zhao. She is just getting burnt and beat up. 82 minus 50. I cannot do quick math, so it's calculator time.
If you click on the token and then type it into the token under the health.
Yeah, just make sure to add a minus first.
Yeah.
Really? minus 52. Oh, okay. That's cool. Did not know that. Thank you. Zhao is hurt, but thankfully enough, it's expended its turn on murdering the NPCs. Aster.
Yikes.
Yee.
Hey,
30 does hit.
we make up for it. So that's gonna be 2d4. Hey. 2d8. Okay.
More
Uh,
fire.
And I'll do a first level smite.
Seven, 31, 35, and 50, 64. 64. That's a lot of damage.
Um,
Just
yeah, and that's my turn.
bashing into this guy. It definitely hurt. Has already been bloodied and gone below that. Not dead, but damn, can he not take a couple of those?
I'm sitting there like trying my best to get his attention, and he's just not having it.
That might do it though, because that's a lot of damage. Even a crazy thing will know that a boss hit them.
I mean 29. That's 29 radiant damage too. I don't know if that matters.
Oh, it does actually. Go ahead and roll. Let's see here. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Roll 76. Yeah, for sure it would no disaster after that. You just bash into this creature so much so that it ain't happy. For sure, its attention has been drawn.
The task failed successfully.
Yoko. Oh wait, before that, I need to roll a Constitution save for Zhao because blood everywhere. Con save. +4. That is natural 20. Nice. She is fine. For
Also
now.
+5, so 29.
29. She is fine for now. Yoko.
Okay, I'll go up there and try and attack this guy some more.
Yep. '23 does hit. 23 does hit. Man, imagine if he wasn't restrained. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, good thing we have Aster here to restrain him.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad to be of assistance.
17. Both damage are 17 apiece, so that'd be 34. Slashing into the man, gutting, bisecting, alive, but very hurt. Blood's being drawn everywhere, and he's just like drooping with it. For sure, a lot of damage has been done this turn. Anything else?
Yeah, I'll try and kick him too.
Fair. 25 does hit.
Only 14 this time.
No, way to break your streak.
That's like
Yeah.
3 villagers.
A villager's health is not a unit of measurement.
I mean, technically it is. They have like 4 HP.
The that like tatami mat thing, cutting thing, but it's just like average farmers standing up side by side, and Yogo just kicks clean through all of them like a perfect cut.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be it for me.
All right. Everyone has already been tainted minus Zhao, but Zhao can only be tainted again on Aster's turn or after that. Hex has already been moved, so stabby stab. Actually,
Oh, Hex would need a concentration saving throw of
oh, that's
25,
good point.
which is actually possible.
+5 thanks to Aster.
Yes.
18, which is pretty high, but
Does she have Warcaster?
does she have Warcaster? Good question. I've only looked at her page when characters were being made, and not since until last week. Because they don't like to make encounters based off of what you can do, because that's kind of cheaty, in my opinion, anyways. Unless, like, the enemy knows and you've been fighting them beforehand, which then makes sense. But that's, me. No, she does not, surprisingly.
Then yeah, Hex drops.
Okay.
Yeah, that is surprising though, isn't it? I'm not weird for thinking that she would have it.
No, it's not. Bonus action Hex.
Probably not. She's a warlock. She probably doesn't want to use her only
Nope.
other.
Not bonus action Hex.
Spell I mean, I'm not trying to tell her how to live her life, but like, I mean, she's got like, what is it, like level 5 Hex now, or like level 5 spell slots for her Hex, for her warlock spell slots right now. Probably not be using Hex.
That's fair. What's this? Level 4, Slight, Submit, Blight. Energy washes above a creature range. Probably wouldn't use it because you've been told it's like a demon thing.
And this guy's clearly
Oh.
sturdy.
She does have Banishing Smite. Would that work? Sorry, now I'm just in my head. Zhao does have a track record of getting rid of things. Or at least the player does. So logically, it makes sense for me to try to do this. Additionally, weapon, spell ends, your weapon crafts with force, dealing an extra 5d10 force damage to the target. Different place of existence, the target disappears, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Bonus action, Banishing Smite. Next time she hits, she does an additional 5d10. And if she can get the creature or target down to 50 or less, it will be banished. Whether or not it stays there permanently, it's up in the air. Mainly because I don't really know. I'm gonna roll with it. Flame Tongue. Darn it.
Advantage.
Advantage. Darn it.
Second attack.
Second attack. Darn.
Advantage.
Hey,
Hey,
there we go. First off, 8. Second off, I didn't cast Hacks, but still sneak attack because there's an ally within 5 feet. Also restrained. 25, okay. And then there's the 5d10, which would be 27. Okay, that'd be 27, 30, 44, 52, 52 minus total HP. Now, I don't want to tell you how much HP they have, but I kind of have to because of what just happened. As Zhao just guts into this man with the Banishing Smite as well as the Flame Tongue, they just begin to warp out and disappear into nothingness. Zhao does state that they're gone for like a minute into a different dimension. Don't know if they'll be back, but hopefully they won't.
Anyone else feel itchy?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can do something about that.
I'm going to say for now, combat is over, but I'm going to roll for something.
We have a minute.
You have a
I
minute.
think we're just planning on waiting the minute.
Yeah.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
try and use prestidigitation to get the blood off of me first. And
Wash,
see if
wash,
that
splash,
helps at
splash.
all.
It does like help clean, and it does help for some reason. You're not sure if it like fully cleaned you up. You might want to get a specialist to do this, but it like that weird itchy feeling is gone.
Well, I'll try it on Aster and Zhao as well.
Zhao, Aster, the last two remaining individuals here for now, do get cleaned up. It like the weird, strange itchiness is gone, but there's still something iffy about it. You're not sure if it's like fully gone or like the surface layer of the blood was causing that perceivable problem. And now that it's gone, it's no longer perceivable that if it is a problem or not. Still.
Can I check these two guys out and see if I can find any clues about what that itching might have been?
You check them out. They're extremely attractive. But besides that,
They're
they did.
explodiated.
Formerly, they were extremely attractive. Now, not so much. They
And this
were
one
like
was a
ripped apart.
zombie.
He wasn't a zombie. He just looks like a zombie. You just keep saying that.
I don't find zombies attractive.
Again, not a zombie. And that's fine. I don't either, but that's neither here nor there. To each their own. Looking at the not zombie and the guy with the hood, hat, helmet. I don't know why I keep changing it. You like dig through their stuff. You find 2 standard health potions, a scroll with a seal of a spider, 2 rapiers. Sorry, different people. And and 2 medallions with spiders on them. They also technically do wear like a 2 bellowing cloaks that just like billow in the wind even if there's no wind, and spider climbing boots. And leather armor. Aster, you like go over towards where Zamara and this pig demon would like fully be gone at this point.
Well, since I'm broke as a joke right now, I'm gonna take their boots and the capes.
That would make good money. But yeah, Aster, you go towards Zamara.
I'm gonna pull the desk back down.
Flip.
And then I'm gonna check over Zamara's belongings and see if there's anything in or on the desk that I would be now like over here.
Yeah, man, how much would be covered in blood? You like ripped her head off.
Well,
and
none of it because I did it on the other side of the desk.
Man, how good at bureaucracy is Aster? Pretty good, honestly. Based off of just RP wise.
He runs a kingdom.
I've not been slacking in my paperwork duties.
Yeah.
I've made it a very specific point to not be slacking in my paperwork duties.
Yeah. I don't think this requires a roll. Like, you've been good RP wise, like keeping up with the paperwork. What exactly are you trying to look for? If you're looking for anything, or are you just looking for anything?
War plans, reports of civil unrest would be the 2 major things, but just kind of keeping an eye out for anything else that would strike me as odd or worthy of taking.
Grabbing a good large portion of information, you find like documents, supply routes, troop routes, things of that nature. You also find secret hidden compartment that has other things. Because naturally, a leader always has a secret compartment that they carry stuff inside, whether it be
Fuck, I don't
important,
have one of those.
whether it be important paperwork or secret snacks you keep inside, so like no one looks at them. Which is one I assume Aster has. A snack drawer. Like for sure it'd be like popped open because you literally flipped the table, and then like flipped it again. There's like no way you didn't get a jar, at the very least. Looking inside, you do see a large contingency of plans, one of which is the division of lycanthropes have been set forth. However, there is unrest with them. Their contingency of lycanthropes have infected 1 out of every 10 soldiers in the patrolling army of the Drow. Once those individuals are in the moonlight, they will be in a frenzy and be able to be controlled by the head leader. And that is dangerous because 1, they would be able to infect others, and 2, depending on the type of infection, they would be taken over and possibly being dominated by that. 2, you heard tale of like these diggers heading towards different sites and like tunnel systems. Looking at the information that you have, you can tell that the people that are like digging up somewhere are like large worms that have been tamed. Like they are a large, massive, like cylindrically 20 feet thick, purple worm-like beings with like red tendrilled veins through them, as if something has been adjusted to them by them, and they're heading towards various sites within the surface of the kingdom underneath various cities. The plan itself is titled in Undercommon, if you speak it.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Even if you didn't, you'd like get the general gist of it. The title of the plan is written Collapsing Scenario. In it, it details if the people or the king does not hear or advise the general or true leader, then the cities will be collapsed underneath.
Is there a recall code?
There is no recall code. There is an all or nothing situational thing, as in if somehow the true leader or the general do die, or the plan is not set in motion, then at a certain point in time, the plan will go through, or one of the leaders can stop it if the protocol is not adhered to. Underneath protocol, you do get another piece of paper that reads People's Call and People's Decree. Underneath, it states that a message will be sent out to the cities underneath a large, massive expanse of greater illusion. But pools of energy need to be accumulated in the area. Otherwise, not everyone will be able to hear the message. In it, it does detail plans of telling the citizens what's going on, possible outcomes, and more or less subterfuge against you, as well as detailing slight truthful, but air quotes truthful, things you have done against the Drow, and like saying ultimately it to the people, ultimately it comes to you, the people, whether or not you want your lives to be spared. We will not continue the war so long as one of these two things happen. Either you bring the head of one of the royals back to this set location, and there you have a set location of where there is a retrieval team up at the surface. If this happens, then we will spare the lives of the innocent, as no more bloodshed need to happen. Whether or not that's truthful, it's up in the air. The second thing that may happen, or will happen, is that no one draw arms if the king and others attack. if those in power do attack, then that is your choice made for you.
So that ship has sailed.
Probably. Looking back at things, you do know that like they were making some message to something. And then they're like, after you guys came in, she like dispelled that, cast another spell on the dead head of the priestess you brought there. You didn't stop it. Something was going on. It didn't look good if she did cast it and said, if you attack now, it would be by your choice and you'd be the one starting the war. You bamfed in, attacked. Scissor blades came out of everywhere, destroying the magic of probably what's on the head. So, maybe there's more like blackmail, fake blackmail out there now. But yeah, potentially that ship has sailed. You're not entirely sure, but problems are problems.
Yeah, anyway, I tie her head to my belt.
Head to belt. There is also like detailed plans on like divisional measurements on where the current scientist is and his current plans. You could take those. You take information on infusion of demon magic into the greater soldiers, which explains that weird dude that hits very hard and is now crazy. More infused energy within the body will cause them to expire faster or go crazy. However, new methods are being implemented into the next generation. You take those papers, and then it's like stuff you would already know if you would go to war, potential routes that would be hit, potential allies they might seek elsewhere. They have like threads that they might take towards the northern kingdom as well as the western kingdoms. They seem to like not preoccupy themselves with the southern one. Maybe they're already allies, or maybe they don't think they would assist with this. And those are all the documents you have.
Looking over them all kind of briefly, kind of understanding like what's going on. I'll ask Zhao how much time we have left.
About half a minute.
Get behind me.
They get behind you. I think they like pop up and like their turn ends from what I remember.
Yeah, but also, yeah, they appear at the end of their turn, and also we all be able to hold a ready to action.
I mean, yeah, that's entirely up to you guys. I'm just trying to remember like how the banishing thing works. Yeah.
You can scroll up and look at it. I mean, I guess technically we would all re-roll initiative.
Nah.
Because it doesn't actually say. But we're also like all ready for it.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a minute. There'd be no reason for not. Like, called shots are called shots once it enters. Even if it is its turn, you would like immediately have reactions once it appears again. But here's the thing that does happen. It does return, but it does return dead.
Yeah.
I rolled to see what would happen when it got banished. I rolled a 1. I rolled another thing for something else, potentially related. I got a natural 20.
Keep that.
One thing went well. The other thing exploded. Reappearing out of nowhere after you guys prepare yourselves for the potential worst, this guy just comes back and like immediately explodes on themselves. Before they do, you see like their skin turn like a prismatic red. Like energy on them, their veins begin to show up as if they are like rising to the surface. Like a lot of demonic energy is being presented to you. You can tell even without casting magic, but after, I do believe you still have like detect magic still up and running. Like he's been like infused with a lot more energy than he is supposed to be. If he is like infused with some type of demon or demonic thing, as the documents do state, being banished to that plane did not help him if he is the type that goes crazy with more energy. So immediately overloaded him and just dies. I will tell you, he was like at 20 health, so probably would have died anyways, but interesting that that happened that way.
Can I use my sending stone to try and contact my sister?
Yeah. Calling into the night, as you guys did arrive here like very late at night, close to early morning. You ring up your sister, and what would you say?
I'd ask her if anything has happened up there.
She has not left this city yet, and she does state, "I'm not sure. There's some commotion far in the distance. There was some glimmer of, I think maybe a spell. It was in the mountain ranges, though. I cannot tell from this far away. I'm still in the city that you just left."
We have killed the head general of the Drow. And at least 3 high priests.
Okay, that's news to me. I guess they have declared war already. All right. We should make way to the capital as soon as possible. I guess since I'm still here, I can use this circle, and a few other casters' energies to bring you back, unless you can find a circle there. But I don't know how much time you have.
I think that you'll be in danger, so I'd like you to stay as ready as you can be, so we will try to find our own way out.
All right, again,
In the meantime, once you get back to the city, once you get back to the capital, ready the soldiers to march for war.
Understood. Do be careful, and same to the rest of yours. I'll bring in a few other divisionary fighters and anyone I can bring up and rile up to the cause. Raise up to the cause. Good luck.
Best wishes.
Call ends, and she is going to prepare. She does have a few guards, like a very powerful guard, and then the two lycanthrope tentacle, they're their own guards, and the politicians. So she is guarded for now, unless like an entire city comes after them. And why would that happen?
So while he's doing that, I'm gonna search the place for valuables and gather up the weapons.
There's a butt ton of valuables. You see like ornamental spears and pikes with guards. You find like 4 spears. The guard wear and attire is also there. It's like ornamental, very, instead of like the silvery kind of look they usually get, there's like purple embedded into it, spider motif everywhere. That would fetch a good amount of money. There are sconces you can swipe and take. The archers also had very nice long swords and bows and arrows. 1 apiece.
What kind of bows are they?
They are long bows, technically, but let me give you the actual information. Da, 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 da. They are a longbow, but the arrows do an additional bit of poison damage. You have like 15 arrows that do an additional 3d8 poison damage.
And how many guard outfits could I have gathered up?
If you like have the space in your bags, like 8 of them, I just don't know how much stuff you have in like your not weapon bag of holding.
Uh, not really all that much.
Then yeah, you can probably get like all 8 of them.
And you said there were 4 of those spears?
Yeah, like there are 8 soldier motif things, but like to the side of each one there's like a soldier that has their sword risen up. Arm up, and on the palm of the soldier, air quotes, there's a spider motif. So like 4 swords, 8 outfits of guards, 4 pikes or spears, technically. 2 plus 2 long swords.
Were those the archer ones?
Those are the archer ones.
Okay.
And then there's the 2 longbows, and total of 30 arrows.
Okay.
Yeah. There's also the focus that actually various like scattered items that are on the ground now that Aster like ripped off of Zamara. But you probably can tell that they might be cursed. It's up to you to decide to take them, but they're probably worth something. If you can remove the curse.
I'll take a look at them and see if I can tell if touching them would cause any problems or if they need to be like worn or used.
You have identify. If not, you can
Only
just
as
roll
a
Arcana.
ritual.
Would you wait 10 minutes? There's like 3 people that did escape this area.
No, I don't think I don't think we quite have that much time.
Roll
I was
Arcana.
trying to do it in more of a hurry.
Could be touch, could be like a specific trigger. If you don't know the trigger, it might just go off accidentally.
Well, I'll see if I can find a sack or a pouch or something and use Mage Hand to put them in it.
Scoop them all up, put them in a bag. Man, imagine it's just putting it in the bag was the trigger. Would be. I haven't said if it's not yet. Nah, it's fine. Putting them in the bag, grab onto them. You now have a satchel full of essential goods, as well as just suits of armor and a whole bunch of new weapons. For sure, you have a limited amount of time here. You can call on your sister, but that will like drive so much of her energy away. She'd be useless for the next couple of days. But you could do that. She is guarding herself, making sure she does not die, heading towards the capital now, accompanied by a whole slew of people that will keep her safe.
Well, we have the head of their major war general. Like, I mean, this is like a war-winning action. I guess the only thing now really is to survive and clean up afterwards.
Well, they probably have some kind of backup plan for in case their leader, well, their general is killed?
I imagine they do, but I imagine that it's not very well communicated given their propensity for backstabbing and whatnot. I ordered my sister to rally the troops for war. Hopefully, we are able to capitalize on some sort of confusion. I say we simply take the head out and hope that that is enough that they understand that we are not to be trifled with and that they do not wish to do us harm. With any luck, I can make them like these two and see that their last moments are not spent on the wrong side. I'll I'll go ahead and what's left of these two that got explodiated, as Yuko has said. I'll close their eyes and say a small prayer to no deity in particular, simply wishing that they are well off.
Hmm. Giving last rites to the individuals that have joined your team, if but a brief moment. No deity in turn. No individual of nature or someone on high. Giving them the last rites as people. Solely for the people. As that happens, you then hear actually nothing. It takes a bit of moment after giving them their last rites, after you collect your stuff, Xiao, Yoko ready to go, after Yoko just slams as much as she can carry in her stuff. You take but a few moments to make sure everything's okay, make sure that the people that have died on your side have been tended to, and like regroup back with the team. You begin to hear, well, nothing. You don't hear any commotion of disarray. You don't hear marching footstep heading your way. You don't hear, well, there's supposed to be a city not 200 feet beside any which way of this building. And yet you hear nothing. What do you guys do?
Does this place have any other exits other than the front door?
You know of the front door. That much is true. And if this is a general's building, there for sure should be a secret way. Aster, how long is detect magic up?
An hour.
You do see that the giant spider to the left, one of the arms is like glowing and has like a tendrilled magic, not tendrilled magic, inscribed magic upon it that does read, it doesn't read the word knock because it's not the knock spell or else that'd be crazy. It's like akin to the knock spell that'll allow a magical door to open.
I'll point out that this is clearly some sort of exit or perhaps secret room. And yeah, on the off chance that this is like a secret room that contains more information, I'm kind of obligated actually.
Maybe that's where they keep their really good stuff.
Do you like decide to use it?
Yeah, I'll just read whatever the sigil is. You said it's akin to a weird knock spell.
Yeah. Reading it, you can tell to activate this, you would need to bend the arm at its joint and press it against the forearm. Once that happens, the doorway will open.
And come over here. I'm gonna pick up one of Zamara's severed limbs. And I'm gonna use that to do the door.
You do so. Other than being massively gross, it does work.
Look, if I had a secret door, it would only work for me. And I toss the arm back towards your body.
Toss it over. You do see that pools of shadow begin to form in the area and then create a doorway. First, like rising up to 8 feet tall and then like sprinkling down as if snow is happening. Once enough of it hits the ground, a doorway is opened and you see bedrock and a city in front of you and some large object beyond that doorway. You can tell you are at the edges of the city itself. More than likely, this doorway was created in case the city fell and the general needed to leave immediately.
Pick the wrong option there. So this isn't a direct route out of the city, but I'll be honest, I'm worried as to why the city has fallen silent, and I would like to see so with my own eyes. And if it's all right with you, you can go through that door, and I'll just look out the front gates, and if anything's bad happens, I'll just run back here and go through.
Well, I'd kind of like to see as well, but you go first.
Fair enough. Uh, if Zhao would like, we have like 6 health potions.
Uh,
That's a whole 6d4 plus 12.
that is true. I want to see if she has a health potion on her now that I think about it. Items. She has oil. Can she drink
I
oil?
I'm limited on spell slots, and I'd like to save them.
That is fair.
I have some lay on hands, but I'd also like to save those quite possibly.
I'm going to say for now, keep your health potions. I am going to do something that I have seen others do, which is a rushed short rest ability. I will use a few. No, I'm going to use like all of them. Why isn't it working? Go. Nope. Well, whatever. I'm just going to roll, I guess. 20 and 30, 50. Okay. Zhao is at 80 now, which is fine, but she is not able to take a short rest at any point in time and will need to take a long rest before anything else happens. Essentially, she is running on max at full break-lip gallop, but at the exact same time, she cannot get anything back on her short rest. At least not until she takes a long rest.
That's the ninja training paying off. And I'll go back towards the door, and I'll let them make sure that they have their cover, as it were. And I'm just gonna throw open the door and see what's awaiting me.
Okay. Zhao, do you join? Did I just say join? Join?
Also, Zhao
Yoko, do you join?
is you currently.
I'm gonna wait until Aster looks and if it's safe for me to look.
I mean, checks out. Give me 1 second. I need to find the map. Okay. All right. Um, looking, preparing, making sure everything is fine. You do see the doorway leading to the city that has gone hauntingly quiet. It isn't a good feeling. It isn't the best feeling, but it is something that you want to know what is happening, want to see what is happening. As that transpires in your brain, you open the door in a large showing of yourself. In case someone is next to you, they will immediately be in a state of, well, not fight or flight, but definitely one of panic. And you can take the opportunity to potentially gut them down or do whatever you may. However, as you look through, you do realize why the city has shut down, why it has, in a sense, died out. As the city itself is now quiet, you do see something large and expanse forming and shaping over the city. Larger than, well, some of the largest buildings you've seen in any city. Rather, in fact, it is beyond that. It is half of its city itself. You can tell that no corner of this city will not have a direct vision of this large, tendrilled, spider like woman with various arms and, although beautiful, a vicious looking face to them. Uh, do you tell Yoko that it's safe? Do you lie to Yoko? Well, not necessarily a lie. It's not attacking. It's just like the image itself is forming.
It's forming?
It's like, the best way I can describe it is like a hologram that is like needing to fully form. And like people are like, oh, something is up. We should stay quiet to hear this message or else we might die. Go ahead and roll religion.
You know, I have a thought here.
Okay, you can follow that thought if you'd like.
I mean, I'm gonna roll religion and hear what you have to say, but I think I know what I'm gonna get from this religion check.
Hard to tell what it is. But what is your thought?
This is fucking Loth, ain't it?
You called it. I'll give it to you. You do know a deity. You do know a name that is passed down to, well, to know thy enemy is to know thyself, and to know thyself is to know thy enemy. You read up a few things. You have read the god, the pantheon, or rather, the supposed pantheon with the one god that rules over all. They are known as the Spider Queen Loth, an entity born then cursed by another powerful god, but they have risen long beforehand, residing deep in the ground and even still, some say, far beyond the reaches of mortal men. An entity that is powerful, an entity that all the drow adhere to, whether they want to or not. It is a being all encompassing, or else the individual dies. There are some exceptions, but very few. This image of Loth is forming, taking shape and taking root, and the city itself is aware of it and do nothing until it has fully formed its shape.
Is it forming? Is it finishing forming, or how much time do we have?
You have like a minute. It's like if full resolution is at 1000, it's like at 750. Not HD yet.
Yuko, Zhao, I am about to do something incredibly stupid and probably die. In that event, please tell my sister that I love her, and to hold elections from the council on who to be my heir. It's been a grand time. And I'm gonna step outside with the head running, with the head held high.
I'm gonna go to the doorway and watch.
Go to the doorway and watch. Not prevent your ally from potentially dying. Okay.
Like, I could stop him.
I mean, you technically could. In theory, anyways.
He would pick me up and yeet me back inside and close the door.
Eventually. Eventually. You, Zhao, begin to, like, make sure that the... Like, thematically, I will say that Zhao is running towards you, but NPC-wise, I'm not going to have the NPC stop the PC. Only because I don't fully know what Zhao would do, but she definitely would watch your back. That's what your sister told her to do. But like, you outpace her only because thematically it works this way. Running.
Also, I have the mobile feet.
Oh, mobile feet as well. They do as well, but that's not important here or there.
Damn it.
Like, this is like a sprint. Immediate thought. You tell them, make sure to hold elections. Don't let my sister be the leader. She also kind of doesn't want to. Rushes through the door. You see that your allies are watching over you, some closer than others as they're running with you, but maybe to make sure your body gets brought back, or maybe to try to protect you. Who knows? However, Yoko is by the doorway watching all this transpire. As you run through the street, you can tell that people do notice you, but as some of them try to do something, immediately they remember that their deity is literally forming in front of them and they probably shouldn't do anything or else they might die, so they don't. They just see this stranger running through covered cityscape of people like staring to the sky as, well, an image of their god forms. What do you do?
I have the ramblings of a madman to be shouting while I carry the head of their war general. I beseech you here and now, abandon her. Do not make me a revenant that stalks your streets, bloodied hands. I do not wish that for you. I am short-lived and transient. You are a little more than that. In the scheme of the world or in your eyes of the fell god that forms. Abandon her. Cast her aside. Do away with your lives and cities built on foundations so unsturdy as hatred and deceit. Or does the Queen of Spiders sit so soundly on her throne of lies to protect even her generals from one she would see so unfit to even speak, let alone rule? Or does she think that such a demeaning sacrifice required for victory? Nay, I say, abandon her who would let your lives flicker to ash for the little comfort they would provide. Abandon her and join me, so that kin and folk together at last will no longer need to worry of betrayal, so that songs of joy might be sung rather than mutated prayers of hatred, of fear.
Shouting out your prayers and calls to bring the people to their senses, to bring them not in line with a god that will kill them if ever they turn away, if ever they change their minds, if ever they go against her. This is a tall thing to ask, if not an impossible thing to ask, but you ask it nonetheless. You ask it with the head of one that has been blessed by the Spider Queen. You ask it by the hand of your own righteousness. You ask it and you bellow it out into the city. Sorry, I'm just reading what you're saying. You ask it out and bellow it into the city itself. This image is close to being formed, but you cast your voice nonetheless. You cast it and it reaches far, but not an entire city far. But you might be able to save some lives yet. Go ahead and roll for me at disadvantage persuasion. But before you do, I will let you know, disadvantage. DC is 30, and there is potential risk factors if you fail. And even if you do succeed, not everyone will join you, but you may save lives yet. You went when you're ready.
Come on, 2 crits.
That is 20. You have anything to change that or enhance that?
Can I use a lucky and take the 26?
No. You can use a lucky to re-roll again and either take the new batch of the disadvantaged roll.
And if there was any time for it.
+16 6, 22. That is better. Now, the threshold to do this is 30. However, if you roll too low, problems will happen. You rolled high enough that no immediate threat, like no one goes in to stab you, but they do take note and listen to this. And as you do that, as you call out to the people, you see finally that this form in front in the air begins to take its shape. Zhao behind you is able to catch up to you, but before that, Loth is able to speak. And as this happens, she does state into the city itself, "My people, the people that have been garnered by me and raised by me. Those in the surface have made their move, and those below have shown those above what their later has caused. I have blessed the one that leads you, blessed her to a state far beyond normal means, and yet..." 1 second, ambulance in the distance. "And yet..." And then she looks down, and you can tell she lines up her vision where she would theoretically see Yoko, Aster, and Zhao. "And yet I feel those that are not part of my coven, part of my people here. Soon."
I'm making sure to keep my distance from Aster.
Way between the door.
Do I have... I still have Detect Magic up, right?
You do have Detect Magic up.
Does this look like a magic image?
It looks powerful. It does register like a magic image, but it is beyond normal means. The best way I can describe it, I was going to say you describe it, but you're not describing it. The image itself feels more alive than it should be. It is beyond that of a greater illusion. A greater illusion itself would still have you can wave your hand through it and it do nothing. It wouldn't be able to sense anyone nearby. It wouldn't be able to take note and look at anyone. At least not so distinctly. Unless this thing's lying, just making everyone as suspicious as possible if there's a immediate threat or danger. It does have magic registry on it, but it is known as divine magic. If there's anything you want to try, you can. Just let me know.
Knowing that they have been stockpiling pools of magic energy for weird purposes, almost exactly like this one, actually.
Choose a creature, object, or a magical effect. A magical effect within range. Any spell, 120 feet. Yeah, this thing is massive. For sure, it's like within 120-foot range. For a spell, this throw the head of a priestess. Sorry, I just read what Yoko put up. As she goes through her speech and says something restating along the lines of, and yet I feel those not in my coven residing here. You go shoot dispel magic straight towards her. Enough force and potential threat that you try to break through it. As you do so, go ahead and roll 1d20 plus your spell casting modifier. That's an 8.
I'm out.
Yeah. Thank you for letting me know. Burying into the magical effect, you see it like waves around it as if not being able to touch it, not strong enough to touch it. And Lolth, surprisingly enough, smiles at the attempt. I see they still have tenacity. No matter. Also, Yoko, if you don't speak Undercommon, you're not understanding a word of this. Other than big menacing woman in the sky. Big spider. No matter, though. I will tell you this. As soon as you reach the surface, there will be less up there. So enjoy the memory of your realm, of your people, because you will not see some of their faces again. And it will be but you and yours to blame. She gets back at her posture beforehand. Now then, my people. Soon we will go to war. Soon those I have blessed and those changed and corrupted will rise from the ground and reclaim the land that my kin have barred from us for far too long, for ages, just because we strive for more, just because we envision ourselves better, and just because they fear the unknown. We will rise to the surface, and they will know the fury of the drow. And you feel like a chain reaction of people beginning to clap, some out of fear and desperation, others out of the gravitas, because a lot of people do believe what she is spouting out. Again, grew up with this culture, kind of hard to dismiss it. And a lot of others just going along with it, not wanting to die. You can tell that the image of her, it begins to fade. The story, the reason that she has come here was to tell people, you are to prepare now, because soon we will be going to war. If not by tomorrow, then soon enough. As the image disappears, Aster, you do see that one of the drow looks towards you. Nearly breaks their neck looking towards you, does not move their body, just moves their head and looks directly at you. And in common does state, I do suggest you leave now, or you can stay here and die before you see your people again. I do like a challenge. You have already killed one of mine. The others need a challenge to improve, to grow, or they will die. Do give them this for me, won't you?
I killed 4, but if you cared about those beneath you, you would have known that.
Only one was important. The other 3 were simple pawns in the game. I do suggest you hurry and run. And the body that she has been using just collapses to the ground. Because for sure, the guy died and hits the ground motionless. Like, the city is picking up back now. People are beginning to, like, still fixated on, like, what is about to happen. Zhao, like, grabs your arm and tells you, we need to go. Do you follow her, try to run back, or do you see what happens?
Heading back towards the castle gate, is any of those guards still there?
Oh, no, they, like, ran as soon as they saw, like, 3 lieutenants, let's call them, like, book it out of there.
That's fair.
Yeah. Actually, roll. What's your passive perception?
15.
15.
See.
You see 2 of those lieutenants that, like, ran and booked it. Some of them are, like, they're nowhere nearby. They're technically, like, in alleyways. With your passive perception, you see, like, one of them dead on the ground. You see no blood around them. They just hit the ground and they're not moving at all. Much like the man that, like, lost control and, like, snapped their neck just to look at you. You see another one currently on the ground, motionless, stabbed straight through. Nothing else. Bleeding, bloodied out. The third one you don't see. Perhaps they survived, or perhaps they're, like, further away into the city. But either way, they were hunted down, potentially by Lulf's means, or potentially by some other means in the shadows. Hard to tell, but 2 of the 3 lieutenants that ran away are dead.
It was an illusion. A very good one. Perhaps one even somehow connected to her, but an illusion all the same. We have their marching routes, we have their plans. If they mean to march so quickly, then they will not be able to alter them much. They march into death traps. We have the locations of where they're supposed to be digging. I only weep that I cannot save them all.
You can tell by the plans that some people, some areas are already, like, there. Not everything, mind you, but, like, 30% of the plan. Still a big number.
Yeah. But one of these is surely some sort of route to the surface. Hell, even if we just, even if we just use one of the ones that is mostly dug out, we could get to the surface that way. What do you think, Yuko?
Well, staying here isn't going to do us any good. I think this is probably our only shot at getting out of here.
Through the portal, then.
Through the portal you go. As you
And-
book it. Go ahead.
And I'll follow after him.
Imagine if Zhao just stayed. Going through the portal as you intend to do, you do see the outskirts of the city. Now barren of, well, AC 20. Any one of you can roll.
I think Zhao might actually be the best at this. I think she might be the only one here with training in it.
I'll allow it for now.
Well, I'm not sure if she has training in it or not.
I'll let you guys know her bonus, and then you can choose who doesn't. Her bonus is, oh no, she's very good at stealth, but survival is 2.
Well, I guess that makes me the best at it then. And I'm not trained in it, but mine's at 5.
Better than mine.
Is it 1 or 0?
1.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'll hand you go the map.
Well, I'll try and figure it out. So I'll have to ask her for help if there's anything I need to read on it.
Yeah, not being able to read, disadvantage. Being able to get help, advantage. Meets in the middle. You know what? Zhao is also making sure no one stabs you in the shadows. Advantage, so it goes up to advantage.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm gonna use my last lucky point and try that again.
Sure. 19. Okay.
Oh, so close.
You guys travel into the area without too much issue. Knowing the routes and pathways that people are taking, for sure it would need to be a way that people survive. But you take different routes from time to time to make sure you're not caught if there are patrols going through the area. So it does take time, and it does take a couple of days. Roughly around 2 of them, in fact. Eventually, you do get to the surface. You breach through, and you find yourselves close to the southern border of your kingdom. It was a couple of days, so you're not sure if the city itself is near the southern border or you lapped around. But based off of the map, you can tell it's closer, not in the middle, but closer to the middle of all the land. And as you surface, you do hear. Let's see here. I'm gonna quickly check to see if there's a city nearby. That is the wrong map. As you look around, you do see something geographically different. After you studied your cities, your kingdom, you see the land, you've studied it. You make sure that every city is known, the people perhaps are known. You don't know everything, because it's hard to know everything. But at the very least, you know the city names, geographically who might live there, why there was lived there, what type of populace might be there. This is a city to the south known as Winter's Hall, a city that first gets hit by the winter storms in the area. At least this area should be that. But the ground itself is like brittle. As you get to the surface and look around you, there is new mountains in the area, but small. The ground itself feels as if it's been broken down and not patted down, but enough tension that it's collapsed in itself. Its weight itself has broken down. If you've ever seen like a dried up salt lake, that's what I mean. There is no city nearby. Geographically, it should be here, but it is not. You try to go further north to where the full city should be, or do you try to make it back to the capital?
Has my sister said anything since we last spoke?
We can go back and see if anything has transpired in the last 2 days. But on her end, you receive no phone calls. You receive no calls.
Then I'll just have sent one to make sure that she was all right.
You send the calls out to her sending stone. let's say you do that on the first day of travel, making sure that if she's made it there, it would take like 2 or 3 days to get to the capital from where you guys were at. On the first day, you see like where she might be as you leave the Drow city. The message does get sent out, meaning that she is alive. She does exist within this material plane, but no receiver gets hit, which means either she is not fully herself, or she's no longer in control of the sending stone.
And then again on day 2.
Or she just left you on red.
Or she just left you on red.
Yeah, probably not the time to be doing that.
Probably not. As you send it on day 2, you begin to see if they're okay, they are safe. The people she is with, you send out the call to see if there's anyone that answers. The message just gets sent out, which means she does exist. She still is alive within this material plane. But no receiver gets hit. The call does not get answered.
How far away from the capital are we?
Not too terribly far. If you do make haste, you can get there within 3 days, walking speed. If you acquire some sort of beast, roughly around a day and a half. If you like full sprint gallop. Yeah.
I believe a warhorse would probably be my best bet here.
I see a warhorse working quite well here. As you try to make it to the area, making sure everything is okay, casting Find Steed. Now the surface, you cast Find Steed. Kind of hard to get a horse moving in caves. Zhao, Yoko are also there. You're able to cast it, and another individual is able to ride with you. At a certain point, there's only so much weight that even a warhorse would slow down.
Well, I'll just use Phantom Steed for myself.
I was about to ask if anyone has anything, but that answered my thing. Yeah. Tandemly, you use Phantom Steed. Aster uses, their mound. And Zhao rides on the back. You guys press forwards straight towards the capital as fast as possible, booking it. When Phantom Steed disappears after a good hour, you run as fast as you can, Yoko, until you are able to cast it again. As you guys are heading north, you do pass Winter's Point. And the city itself would have been at a distance when you arose up, but you should have been able to see it geographically based off of every key marker. Now that you're quite literally where it should be, you see large mounds of dirt that are covering cobblestone. You see large expanses of small pillars shooting out from the dirt, but they are buried. They are deeply buried. You see stained floors everywhere, either marked by blood or marked by some other force. Could be magic, could be a torrential rain, but the discoloration of it and the smell does not match normal weather phenomenon. As you continue to ride further north, a day does pass and you find no disturbance, or at least no immediate disturbance. Yoko, Aster, I want you both to roll perception checks. I'll give you advantage. You guys are trying to make sure everything's okay. Same with you, Aster. 14. Okay, I get it. You just won 14. Got it.
I do just want 14.
Yeah. Also, you guys would be fully healed at this point. You've been traveling for a couple days. So keep that in mind. Going in through the city and around, you don't see anything currently problematic around you, but you do feel something off the normal path and means. Yoko, you distinctively, as you're about to come over a ridge, pause Aster and Zhao as you keep them in tow and you hear something in the distance. Far enough away that you can stop and make sure that they don't hear you, but close enough that you do hear something way too close by. You slow down and peer on top, peer overhead, and at the other side you do hear a whole bunch of not fighting, but a whole bunch of distrust, disturbance. You see a large group of 20 people currently trying to head towards the city further to the west of here. You can see the city in the distance, and you see these people have like luggage with them. Half of them fighting the other half fighting not just with words. Some of them are quite literally punching each other. And you hear a whole bunch of disturbances. With a natural 20, I will tell you that they are like fighting not just because they've literally been dispelled from their home and are trying to get somewhere to survive, but a lot of it is distrust towards the king, distrust towards the kingdom and its rulers. And like you can tell this is not a isolated incident. Based off of what you hear something along the lines of, I bet you other cities this has happened. I bet you it's the king's fault for starting this war. And you hear other people saying, we don't know that for sure. All we do know is that these weird, these monsters dug into our city and buried all of it. We have to start anew. We have to get this kingdom back. And everyone is shouting towards each other. There is a lot of animosity, and you can tell no one is happy right now.
Well, I'll pass all that on to Aster and see what he makes of it.
Yeah. To recap, message was sent out towards city. These people believe that other cities have heard it. Some of them believing that you started this. Others believing we have to regroup and regain, otherwise we will die and perish. No one is happy.
I'll ride over and try and make as much noise on my approach as possible so that they like look towards me.
Let's see here. I did say they're far enough away that they wouldn't immediately notice you, but close enough that you could perceive them. As you do so, I want to see how panicked they are. Above 10, they'll just start to run. Below 10, they like frozen in panic. They just begin to run as soon as they hear you. Like,
hold, I have questions.
Roll persuasion. DC 18. Yeah, 19. A good amount of them still run, like the more spiteful individuals, mainly because they don't want to get caught up in anything. Like, but some of the people that like are wary, making sure that the people are want to be safe and like regroup, stick around. There's like 12 of them versus the 8 people that are like hatred everywhere. Blame the king. King's to blame. The 12 people that are like, oh, we need to make sure everyone is safe before we can regroup and start a war. Like, they pause. Other people run. You can't catch up to them. You are on a horse. They're on, like, walking. You see an old woman as the elder of the group looks towards you. Look, I don't know what's going on, but you did say you have questions. I don't fully have the answers, but we can try to see what's going on. Are you from another city?
Just a moment. They flee towards nowhere and towards no destination, which means danger. Let me round them back up. It is safer in a group no matter what. And I'll take off and I'll be like, hey guys, you need to fucking chill.
Intimidation?
I mean, I'm trying to do it peacefully.
Persuasion?
Oh, so you won't be using a lasso?
No.
Yeah, that'll do it. They like pause. They don't like regroup with the other group, but because you told the other group that, hey, we need to all regroup or else we are more in danger, they join you. So does Zhao and so does Joko. Man, what is with me today? Eventually regroup with everyone else. You are all together again, and the old lady does state, yes, well, thank you for making sure that they aren't injured or hurt. You had questions.
I did. I've been away for several days, and I understand that there's been some sort of collapse. You were saying that you saw or heard something?
Like a more young, rambunctious. Oops, she's not that tall.
Massive.
Like one of the more rambunctious individuals that are like, screw this, kill the king. Not necessarily kill the king, but blame the king. Does state, it's more than that. Whatever these things were, whatever the king did to, I don't know, I think they were the drow, I don't know. Cause them to kill everyone around us. We were farmers outside of the city. We barely survived. The city itself collapsed. It's on itself when these weird big worm things just buried it. I bet you it wasn't just this city. Based off of the messages they sent out, we're probably not the only ones.
And what makes you think it was the king's doing?
Because of what they said before, and then the second message they sent after. And the old lady... okay, you say which was. The old lady, after you say which was, does say, before this happened, they sent out a message stating a few things. That they did not want to go to war, but their hands were pressed after King and his advisors or friends or allies. I actually wouldn't know what she would probably say allies. The first message did state that she did not want to go to war, that their people did not want to go to war, but the king and his allies rose a hand against one of their matriarchs, one of their leaders, and chose not to pay recompense. So she then advised us to choose what to do next. Either take the head of one of the remaining royals in power. I do believe she meant one of the remaining royals in the kingdom, either the king themselves or their sister. Or else face potential war. But if a hand was dealt against the people in the meantime, her people in the meantime, then that is the choice that the people and the kingdom has made. And they would retaliate in kind. And then the rambunctious one does state, yeah, and then not too long afterwards, they sent out another message. It was smaller than beforehand. Like, I don't know, maybe they didn't have enough strength or power. I could barely hear it. But it was an image with some sounds, but I couldn't fully make them out. But they showed the king going in. Actually, they wouldn't know if you were the king or not. They have like a general image, but not everything. They showed people from the surface. Actually, how close were Zhao and Yoko? Panic state, they wouldn't have full cognitive memory. 14 and 16. As he's beginning to talk, you see like a whole bunch of people wondering if like looking at you guys and like really examining you. But they're not like fully within the mind of thinking, oh, these are the guys that attacked. And then some people not like them attacked. I don't know who they were. But they like disappeared and immediately attacked. And then this like other woman spoke to the city. The only things the only things we could make out were the choice has been made for you by the king. Feel now what he has chosen, and this can still be changed, which I think she meant changed. And then if the first, and I think if the first, some words corrected. But I'm not going to risk my life for some king that has killed us, that has killed my family. The old woman then states, come now. This is the enemy that has shown us through the lens of themselves. We do not know the outcome, and we do not know the full story. I do understand the fire that is within your heart. But we must become one before we become too many and too far apart to help one another. Still rowdy and rambunctious, but they like stop shouting vitriol at people.
You should listen to your elders. She speaks very good wisdom. The enemy has only shown you what they want to see. Sorry, what they want you to see. What does your heart say? What has the king shown you since he has taken power?
He has shown that he's willing to change things. It's not to say he's not willing to change them for the worse. Sure, he changed things to help other people out, even me, myself included. He is a half-elf, half elven, half... actually, you don't know the other half, but it's like gray. And that was fine. I trusted him. But then he changed it again and chose to have people kill one of their leaders or whatever. So I don't doubt he's willing to change things for his own cause, just because it suits him better.
Why do you think he would have someone killed so drastically?
I don't know. I don't know how the noblemen's work.
Then
If I did, it wouldn't be a farmer.
I understand your frustration. It is misplaced. My name is Astra Altor. Aster Altor.
For sure they have heard your name. So like once that name has been stated, a lot of bells are like clicking in, both in the good group, air quotes good group, and bad group, air quotes. Very, very frustrated people. Like the rowdy rambunctious guy like lunges towards you while two other people from the not violent faction like hold him back. He's like shouting hatred towards you. Out of the
Go.
Would they listen to you? Yeah, probably. You've already stated yourself as king, and although some people hate you, the people that are like holding it back are people that don't want fighting to happen immediately. So they like let him go, and immediately like he starts like punching you, hitting you as hard as possible. Armor's still on, but he's like decking you without any restraint behind him. Like he is a farmer. He could technically do damage, but not enough to kill you. Let's see how much damage he does, though. I'm going to say he gets like 4 good punches in. 15. Like, he gets solid punches in again and again. Some just hitting armor, some hitting plate, others like hitting you in the side of the face. He's like shouting hatred towards you. Shouting hatred towards, well, Zhao and Yoko. Sometimes he gets like the horse in there as well. Just because he like has no idea who fully to blame. And like in between the vitriol, you just hear him shouting, "You're the one! You're the one that killed my sister! It was you!" And like again and again, he's just wailing until he is exhausted. Until he literally cannot hit you anymore. Because he doesn't have the strength to. He's not a fighter. He will not finish this fight because he can't physically. Both malnourished, not trained for it, and like the hatred and venom won't like allow him to be rationally smart, so he's just drained like 10 minutes later. And like crumbles up into a ball and begins to cry.
I'll get off my horse and I'll inspect his hands that are probably bloodied from, punching armor.
And as you get pretty close to him, he just like kicks dirt towards you and goes, "Don't touch me!" Like he can't do anything against you. But, he's just like doing this.
He's all tuckered out now.
Yeah.
Just the dirt hits me, and I'll still take one of his hands and I'll inspect it.
Broken bones, like he was just punching till he couldn't punch anymore, and then continued to punch. Disjointed, broken, battered, bruised. Blood everywhere, honestly. Like he's not just crying because of the hatred and like the sadness. It's also very painful.
And I'll use however much lay on hands I need to fix him up.
Like 2. He does not thank you. He does not feel better. Well, physically he feels a little bit better. Mentally still shot. Mentally still exhausted. And like he crawls away because he cannot do anything else. He cannot continue the fight because, again, not trained for it. But the hatred is there. And you can tell that he is not the only one that feels this hatred. Just he's the only one that attacked.
Is there anyone else among you who would like to have their discussion with me?
You do hear some slurs and stuff like that, but like no one goes for the charge of the attack because they saw how like well it turned out for one of them. not the rambunctious guy, but like an older man, gray hair, tufts, daughter at his side, but no wife. Crumpled up potential picture in pocket, but you can see it. Has a perception of 15. Yoko, you can tell there's the picture of a woman. Does look towards you. You can tell he's part of the people that don't like you, or don't like the governing force currently. Look, I don't care for you one way or the other. In fact, right now I don't care for this governing kingdom all outright, if I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. This war was started because of you and your kind. Kind meaning like the politics and politicians. So I will not say I understand why you did this, why you brought us and got us involved. But know that the hatred is strong and will not go away in a day. That Oso goes, looks towards Zhao and Yoko. For your allies as well. If looks towards the rambunctious one, if what he believes is true, and we are not the only city that have been hit, then know that there's likely some people out there that Oso do not care for you right now.
I make no claim that what I did was right or wrong. But I will say that I do not think anyone's sister more or less deserving of life. I think it is a precious gift, one to be treasured closely. I weep for all those who have already perished. Not now, but when the dust has settled, when the war is over. Know that they will be honored. There were countless slaves held below this kingdom, held enraptured by the drow, some the drow themselves against their own kind. I've read and seen things of reports that they come up here and they take slaves below. I will not suffer that squandered waste of life forever. Regrettably, such a drastic change brings with it a time of strife beforehand. I can only hope that together we might win this war. We might free the drow from themselves. That we might provide a reason that all those who died had to. If after this war you still want my head, then I will give it. I will give it gladly, as I have and always will. My first duty is to those I rule over. Forgive me in that you think that I have failed you so far. But I do not think I have failed just yet. The war is far from over. Do not travel towards any minor city. Travel towards the capital, if you will. We knew this war would start, and we were not unprepared for it. If any else of you care to otherwise express your feelings of me now. This is a very limited offer. Do so. I will not be able to indulge such kindness in the coming days.
Some people like punch you, but like don't go as viciously as the guy that lost. It's more like making themselves feel better. Some slap you. The little girl that was with their father like kicks you in the chin and like walks away. Cause she's not like violent towards you. She just sees everyone else doing it, so she's like joining in, mom mentality and all that. And then the old lady doesn't step in between that, but does step in afterwards because it's not her place to. And like the group is more or less in line with each other. Still hatred, still vile, discontempt towards king and crown. But the old lady does state, "We will travel to the best and safest route. If you are truly trying to help the people, then I suggest you quickly do it. I may be old, but I still have a few years to live. I'd rather not be in war living them."
They lack a matriarch and a general. I am both patriarch and general, and I am still alive. I do like our odds. Have you food enough for travel? And
Yeah.
I'm not actually going to wait for her to answer that. I'm actually just going to cast Create Food and Water.
Splendid amount of food and water. They have a good amount to travel, but probably not all the way to the capital without like a day or two of not eating. So that is good.
It's 45 pounds of food and 30 gallons of water.
So yeah, they're covered.
Eat this first, lest it quickly fall to ash.
Mhm. You can tell that the part of the group that still has hope, blends it in with the food that they already had. But obviously, you can tell that the people that are doing that, like, put it to the surface, so that would be the first food that they eat. So, like, the people that are like, "No, we're not taking anything from you," don't fully know which one is yours and which isn't. But you know, they still need to eat, so they will eat. Thank you, Your Majesty. I do suggest you ride to the capital. If that is the most fortified location, we will be there soon. And if others think this way to seek protection, you may have more of an influx than just 20 of us. Do be prepared for the coming numbers of people in the coming days.
Preparations will be made. Boy, what was your sister's name?
Vitriol, bad words. You get the word, you get the name Matilda in there between all that. Maltilda.
When this is over, her name will be the first carved on the monument. I hope that one day you might forgive me and perhaps forgive yourself. I'll get back on my horse and I'll look towards Zhao and Yoko.
Zhao nods. Yoko probably summons their phantom steed.
Aster, would you make the
Yes.
same choice again, knowing what the consequences are?
I will answer truthfully, but first, might I ask you if you think there is a wrong decision to say here?
No, I don't. Just your answer, and well, your answer is your answer.
I would, every single time. I will not pretend to be blind to the suffering before me, and I will always strive to do what I can to end it.
I see. And Yoko will get up on her horse and head off towards the east.
East or north?
East.
As in away or like riding to the capital?
Away.
Okay, that's what I thought. Um, as you break away, as the refugees make way to the capital, as Aster and Zhao on horseback, and Yoko asking a question of would you do this again if knowing the consequences? Aster stating that yes, time and again they would, as they could not turn a blind eye towards the people in despair. Or what the better way you put it, I just can't remember all the words. Yoko rides eastwards. Now, what happens next? Well, a lot will happen. A war has been started, a war by the king's own hands, and word has spread that it was by the king's own hands. A city, and perhaps many other cities have been lost. The princess of the kingdom, Aster's sister, is not being able to be reached. And a lot more trouble is brewing in the next coming hours, if not days. What may transpire, what help may be brought in, we will just have to wait and see as we end the session for today.